Good night, people. Welcome to the third week of the American Clash Cup Day, where many teams have already secured the pass to the playoffs and others where they have very complicated sorting after the results and will search the miracle. There was also an incident of lack of respect for a player from a certain country, and appealing to the good rules of fair play, he offered the apologies of the case by giving an example of what all our tournaments seek to demonstrate. In the duel of the date highlighted the impressive victory of Colombia about Brazil being one of the most important results for this selection. We go with everything. Match 17. Puerto Rico versus Venezuela. 83-77 in favor of Venezuela. This was a war that very possibly defined the third and fourth place in this group. Both teams came out with everything and an unpublished case was given. Ironically, Puerto Rico was the selection that to date had achieved a triumph despite not having closed municipalities and not closed two before Cuba. And this time the reverse happened, his rival in turn. Venezuela did not close 4 city halls 9. Despite this, the town hall's superiors 12, 11 and 10 put the team on their shoulders, giving chair to carry out plenary sessions in an aspect that until now in the American Clash Cup is complicated. The city council's 11. Venezuela made triples in all those rival municipalities and closed 7 of 8 in town halls 10 and 3 of 5 in town halls 12. They stood out with 6-pack double-triple in same war in Venezuela the following: TH12 Kaiser, TH11 Felipe, TH10 Pele, Muck Felipe, TH9 Mr. Ketchup. They stood out with 6-pack in Puerto Rico. TH10 Mr. Rulas Road, TH9 Fonseca Jr. Fortify David. Special mention to Fortify, the only player with 6 of 6 puzzles in Town Hall 9. Match 18. Colombia vs. Brazil. 82-83 in favor of Colombia. Undoubtedly the meeting of the day, a match where the defenses came to light, making both teams are not as effective as their previous encounters. Luck was from the hand of Colombia, which the player Thiago Haloiwi made 99% to a TH12 Town Hall. If it had been triple it would have been a tie, and for the final destruction percentage had this match been in playoffs, Brazil would have won the war. This meeting possibly defined the leadership of this group, in the absence of playing 2 dates. It should be noted that in this case, Colombia was one of the least effective teams in TH11, making only 1 full of 6 possible, but come on. In high-intensity encounters the defenses stand out, and on both sides they were good. In the case of Brazil, only made 2 full of 6 possible in TH11 as well. If the logic is given and both teams continue with their victories, we will see this meeting in the semifinals. In fact, gentlemen, they stood out in 6-pack. Colombia. TH12 Tricardinus. TH9. Alien E. Sky of Sky. In Brazil. TH10 Bach. TH9 Horsao Jitson Lima Doug Bay Tider.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. ¡No! ¡99%! ¡No pudo! ¡Ah! ¡Dios mío! Victoria de Colombia. Señoras y señores, enhorabuena.
Match 19. Ecuador vs. Canada. 87-77 in favor of Canada. A surprise war for the difference between the teams. It was expected a Canadian victory, but what happened in the war was very categorical. A solid Canadian team in all its lines, and an Ecuador that made an error that many teams in high-performance competitions should not do. They repeat the same bases of the previous war, since all of them are kept in the transmission. In this war, Canada did perfect in Town Halls 10, being one of the best teams in this category, closed 8 out of 8 possible bases. It was also one of the best in TH11, closing 5 out of 6 possible bases. Package highlights and sick. Glenn. TH11. Queen Fury Mugs. TH10. Cocky. TH9. Pampemo El Dart. Goldoric Night Fury. Package highlights and sick. Ecuador. TH10. Darius Snow. TH9. Lenine B. DG Ray Lesrie Joseph. Match 21. Use. Vs. Peru. 84-81 in favor of Peru. It was the second war in the history of the United States team, a war that at first was very even, there being a difference of only a triple in favor of Peru, and staying that way until 10 minutes have passed at the end of the war. In the case of the United States, Premiering new people in TH12 did not repeat the previous training, and with a second leader like Ruben, which contributed a lot to the selection. For Peru it was an important triumph that strengthens it in the standings, now with 6 points. The United States still does not get its first victory, and he has no points so far. However, he has his chances of qualifying intact for the 2 remaining dates, Costa Rica and Bolivia. It stands out for the case of Peru and SIGPAC. TH10. Lord Damianson. TH9. Fred 203 Angela. In the United States it stands out. TH10. King Bacon Mythical Chief Ruben Do Not Folk Up. TH9. Ruben Brian Eagle Eye.
That should not have worked! Stop it! Stop it now! Lord damn, guys! Get some love in the chat for Peru.
Match 21. Paraguay versus Bolivia 87-77 in favor of Paraguay. This was the match that was played at the end of the third date. It was a result very favorable to the Guarani team that won with a lot of category and similar from Bolivia. A victory was expected but not by so much difference. Bolivia in the preparation stage for the American Clash Cup had 2 friendlies, and both won very comfortably. However, here he suffered a lot, especially for the defenses of their players. Paraguay in this way reaffirms itself as a very solid and totally renovated team, very different from that Paraguay of the Clash World Cup 3. They highlighted with SIGPAC. In Paraguay TH11 Hard Salem, Galbaji TH10 Josek, Esteban TH9 Morgan Freeman, Hart Gonzalez, they're all top. They highlighted with SIGPAC. In Bolivia, TH10 Patrick TH9 Legend Avatar, DK Dante and Fran Destructor. Match 23. Mexico vs Dominican Republic 81-81 draw. It is the second draw to be recorded in the American Clash Cup after the tie between Nicaragua and Ecuador. The Dominican Republic team dominated the encounter and had a good advantage over Mexico with 5 minutes left. 2 plenary sessions between councils 12, 11 and 10. However, at the last minute Mexico would tie the war, causing the surprise of the streamer and unleashing the madness and total fire in the team. Among some incidents, there was a public survey on social networks which was victorious Mexico in preferences. However, there was an incident with a player during the match which mentioned some improper things, causing the suspension of the same for the next encounter. Both in the Clash World Cup and the American Clash Cup we look for fair play, which not only consists of the non-use of third-party software to guarantee fair play, but also maintain the rules of respect and good conduct in the community. Before the incident, the captain of the Dominican Republic made the following announcement in social networks. The Dominican Republic team extends an apology to our dear French Chien and the Mexican national team of the American Clash Cup for the fair play behavior of player Henry Snaker as established by the organization. The fair play is also to respect the other players of each selection. This tournament has the purpose of creating new friendships in the game and create new dynamics of it that we enjoy so much, without letting go of emotions or salsios in the direct ones provoked by spectators of both selections. We reiterate that it was a personal act of the player in controversy, without interfering with the fair play that the selection has shown from its different areas, with our leaders and cultures that do not enter these forms of salsio or evil behavior in networks, in such a way that our members make it up a selection of united and mature players. We accept the sanction applied by the organization on the player Henry Snaker, which will not be able to participate fourth week against Chile, and while serving as a lesson to all players representing a clan in an international league, tournament or selection, know that you have to abide by fair play rules. Sincerely, the Dominican Republic selection of American Clash Cup. A sample of fair play from the Dominican Republic that provided neither finished the incident. Line of dots. In terms of the war, they highlighted with SIGPAC. Mexico. City Hall 12 Brandon. City Hall 10 Chinese. Mibakok. City Hall 9 Richards. Mendoza MX. Dominican Republic. City Hall 9 Constantine. Adrian. Match 24. Guatemala versus Chile 87-80 in favor of Chile. It was a war where Guatemala woke up closing the town halls line that in previous wars they had been elusive. However, this time they had a rival who had an outstanding participation in the third Clash World Cup like it was Chile. Chile was a machine where it closed all the city council's 10 and was one base to close the TH11, which is the most complicated thing to do so far in the contest. With the results shown, Guatemala seriously complicates their aspirations of moving to the playoffs phase, depending on what Mexico does versus El Salvador on the fourth day to be played this Friday. Winner tie El Salvador, Guatemala will be mathematically eliminated from the tournament. They highlighted with sick pack in Guatemala. TH12 Fernando, TH9 Davidito, Jovi, Aldebaran, Mayan Soul. In Chile, City Hall 11 Dark Legend, Millhouse, City Hall 10 Tracer, Slack, City Hall 9 Luciano, the best. This is a summary of the results mentioned in a single image. The triumph of Venezuela against Puerto Rico would define a priori the third and fourth put, unless Brazil falls in this group. Colombia against Brazil, the triumph of Colombia ensures it in the first place, and with a draw would be enough to be the first absolute of the group. The triumph of Canada over Ecuador, surprise puts Canada in an excellent position to stay with the second place in this Group B. Nicaragua wins Honduras by default since the leader of this selection does not want to continue in the American Clash Cup for external reasons. The victory of Peru against the United States strengthens the table to Peru, fighting the first three places against Costa Rica and Paraguay. Also complicates the North American team allowed to be well positioned and play all for everything against Costa Rica and Bolivia. The Paraguayan victory against Bolivia also strengthens the Guarani team at the top of this group, which everything is crowded up. The star difference will be vital for watch the tiebreak of this group. The tie between Dominican and Mexico seriously complicates the Dominican team since the next date has its last war against Chile, a rival that appears to stay with the leadership of this group, and after which, it would seem, it would be fourth place, and it is almost certain that, if this case occurs, it will collide with Colombia in playoffs, so before Chile should play all for everything to avoid that position in the group of death. The Chilean triumph over Guatemala solidly strengthens him as leader of this group, also taking the difference of stars. Guatemala for its part will no longer depend on himself, and only one defeat of El Salvador against Mexico on the next date will keep you alive in the competition. American Clash Cup third week, table of Group A. Colombia after the victory against Brazil strengthens as leader of the group. All still have mathematical possibilities of classification, and Colombia with a tie before Cuba after the rest date will mathematically ensure the leadership of the group. Colombia 9 points, Brazil 3 points, Venezuela 3 points, Puerto Rico 3 points with one match played, Cuba closes with 0 points. American Clash Cup third week, table of Group B. Argentina 6 points, Nicaragua 4 points, Ecuador 4 points, Canada 3 points, Honduras 0 points. American Clash Cup third week, table of Group C. All very fought here for the first three. The difference of stars will be vital. In the panorama, Peru has the fixture more simple to say in some way before Bolivia, while Costa Rica must be measured against the United States and then Paraguay. The Paraguayans, with one more war, will have to face Costa Rica to close your participation in this phase. Paraguay leader with 6 points, plus 12 stars Costa Rica 6 points, plus 11 stars Peru 6 points, plus 5 stars. United States 0 points, Bolivia 0 points. American Clash Cup third week, table of Group D. Chile 6 points. Group leader Mexico 4 points, Dominican with 4 points but one game played more, closes its participation in group stage before Chile. El Salvador 3 points. Guatemala 0 points. All are mathematically classified to playoffs with the exception of El Salvador and Guatemala, as mentioned. Guatemala depends on Mexico surpassing El Salvador on the last week. In this week 3 of the American Clash Cup stood out in the performance collective. City Council's 12. Colombia, after its impressive victory against Brazil closing 5 out of 5 possible bases. Congratulations. City Council's 11. Venezuela, after its solid triumph against Puerto Rico despite not closing municipalities 9, the players put the team on the shoulder and showed a lot of category to raise a result. Congratulations. City Councils 10. Canada, Chile and Paraguay. Congratulations. After the third week of the American Clash Cup, they highlighted in hitters. Town Halls 12. Tomas 95 from Argentina with 4 triples of 4 possible. Sky of Colombia 4 triples of 6 possible. Kaiser of Venezuela with 3 triples of 4 possible. I from Paraguay with 3 triples of 4 possible. CWC Colombia with 3 triples of 4 possible, and Garrett's from Argentina with 3 triples of 4 possible. Congratulations. City Councils 11. Hard Salem from Paraguay with 4 triples out of 6 possible. Bastia Sexy and Dark Legend of Chile with 3 triples of 4 possible. Felipe from Venezuela with 3 triples of 4 possible. Lady Juppin from Colombia with 3 triples out of 6 possible. Gabaji from Paraguay with 3 triples out of 6 possible. Segovia of Puerto Rico with 3 triples of 6 possible. Congratulations. City Councils 10. Esteban from Paraguay with 5 triples out of 6 possible. Brazilian Bach with 4 triples of 4 possible. Slack of Chile with 4 triples of 4 possible. Slaquito from Chile with 3 triples of 3 possible. Roberto and Natsu from Dominicana with 4 triples out of 6 possible. Congratulations. City Councils 9. Fortify of Puerto Rico is the only best City Hall player. 9 finished the third week with 6 triples of 6 possible. Hopefully he comes back soon to competitions. Constantine and Batito from Dominicana with 5 triples of 6 possible. Aldebron of Guatemala with 5 triples of 6 possible. Bossy Pie from Paraguay with 5 triples of 6. Soybuls Rolo from Peru with 5 triples out of 6 possible. Alder of Puerto Rico with 5 triples of 6 possible. Jody from Guatemala with 4 triples of 4 possible. Nick Time from Argentina with 4 triples out of 4 possible. Roldoric and Night Fury of Canada with 4 triples of 4 possible. Tozamp from Ecuador with 4 triples of 4 possible. Peralta of Paraguay with 4 triples of 4 possible. Chudo 3 of Peru with 4 triples of 4 possible. Lenine from Ecuador with 4 triples of 4 possible. Pele from Venezuela with 4 triples out of 4 possible. Congratulations. The fourth week will throw us the next war. For Group A, Match 25, Puerto Rico vs. Brazil, this Sunday, September 30th at 7 p.m. in Puerto Rico and 8 p.m. Brazil time. Match 26, Venezuela vs. Cuba, this Sunday, September 30th at 7 p.m. Venezuelan time and Cuban on the channel of Wire DJ. For Group B, Match 27, Nicaragua vs. Argentina, this Friday, September 28th at 7 p.m. Nicaraguan time and 10 p.m. Argentine time on the channel of Servacenti, the 2. For Group C, Match 29, Peru vs. Bolivia, this Sunday, September 30th at 9 p.m. Peruvian time and 10 p.m. Bolivian time on the Wire channel DJ. Match 30, Costa Rica vs. United States, this Sunday, September 30th at 7 p.m. Costa Rica and 9 p.m. time of the United States East New York by the channels of Marcelo Clasher Spanish and English on YouTube and the Lady B channel by Twitch. Native English. For Group D, Mexico vs. El Salvador, this Friday, September 28th at 7 p.m. Mexican time and 6 p.m. Salvadoran time through the Shein channel. Dominicana vs. Chile, this Thursday, September 27th at 10 p.m. Chilean time and 9 p.m. Dominican time on the Shein channel. And a special mention to Cuba that yesterday, Tuesday, September 25th of 2017, achieved the first triumph as a selection against the brave selection of South Africa. Cuba with a resounding 84-74 exceeded this squad. Here we show players both Cubans and South Africans, and one of the attacks carried out by Cuba. From here our sincere congratulations to the Cuban team. An example of perseverance despite the results at first always has its reward. Applause for Cuba, gentlemen. And now, we're going to Havana and we'll be back next week. Bye.